This is the OJHL All Access Podcast. What's going on, folks? Great to have you on board once again. I am Alex Bashevansky. Hope your week is going great. Really appreciate you tuning in. Please do stick with us, of course, as the regular season winds down and we get closer to the playoffs in just a few short weeks. And at some point, I'm definitely going to have some guests on to preview all the first round playoff series. Can't wait for that. But first, on the show today, it is a good one. We've got one of the undisputed superstars of the OJHL coming on, Leamington Flyers forward Colton Smith, who's currently second in league scoring and has helped the Flyers to become one of the top teams in all of Canada. He'll join in just a few moments to talk about his experience in the OJHL so far. First, though, a bit of news. The latest CJHL rankings have come out. Trenton has taken over top spot once again. The Golden Hawks are number one currently in all of Canada. The Leamington Flyers come in at number 5. The Junior Canadians are into the top 10, and they are in the 8th spot. Collingwood sits at 13th overall, and the Haliburton County Huskies are in 19th. So 5 OJHL teams now in the top 20. Let's see how that compares to the OJHL Coaches Power Rankings. Number 1, they've got Trenton. Number 2, they've got the Flyers. Number 3, Collingwood. Number 4, JRCs. Number 5, they've got the Milton Menace, though, which ahead of the Huskies, despite Milton not even getting in an honorable mention in the CJHL top 20. So they've got them flipped around. They do have the Huskies at number 6, Wellington at number 7, the Toronto Patriots at number 8, Burlington Cougars number 9, and Stouffville at number 10. 6 OJHL alumni have been nominated for the Hobey Baker Award, which is given to the top player in NCAA Division I hockey. They are Cole O'Hara, who previously played with the North York Rangers and now plays with UMass, Tyler Fukakusa and Matthew Wild, previously teammates on the Toronto Junior Canadians and now teammates for the RIT Tigers, Noah Beck and Ayrton Martino of the St. Mike's Buzzers. Noah currently plays for Arizona State, while Martino plays for Clarkson, and Michael Craig, previously of the Buffalo Junior Sabres, now with Robert Morris. Fans can have their say as well on this. The first phase of balloting runs through March 10th. Head to hobeybaker.com to cast your votes. And I am happy to be joined now by a guy who himself will be heading south of the border to play NCAA Division I hockey next season. Leamington Flyers forward Colton Smith. Colton, how's it going?
Good. How are you?
Can't complain, man. You got 76 points in 44 games, though. You are definitely having a great year. Are you happy with the way your season's gone so far with the Flyers?
I mean, yeah, obviously it's something special to me to be a part of Leamington with knowing the owners around from the same place I'm from. We play golf at the same course in the summer. So it's something special to me, and then it's something special to them as well.
I'm feeling pretty old because I grew up watching your dad, DJ, play first in the OHL and then professionally after that. But I wanted to touch on first your background because you were born in the States, correct? You were born in Hershey, Pennsylvania, when your dad was playing with the Bears. Is that right?
Yeah, so he was in Hershey for a little bit, and then I actually only lived there for I think it was 2 months maybe. So while he was playing in Hershey, I was born, and then we were out of there.
So where did you play? Where did you actually grow up before moving back to Canada? And because I noticed you played on your elite prospects anyway, it's got you playing some AAA hockey with Bell Tire in Michigan. So where did you play most of your minor hockey growing up?
To be honest, I played for Sun County for most of my time. I played, I think it was 7 or 6 years there. And then I went to Bell Tire for 1 year. And then my dad got the head coaching job in Ottawa. So I moved out to Ottawa with him. And then I played there for a year. And then I was in the OHL.
Yeah, and you ended up first with the Knights in London. And then the Windsor Spitfires after that. Was it always your goal to play in the OHL?
I mean, yeah, growing up, just with my dad coaching in the OHL and watching him win back-to-back Memorial Cups and then watching him win another one, it's something that I always dreamed of, is to just play in the OHL and be around that type of lifestyle. So that was something I always wanted to do. So I knew where I was headed all the way up.
Right. And you had a solid OHL career. Unfortunately, it was just the limit of, I guess, how many 20-year-olds an OHL team can carry. You needed a different spot to play this season. So you mentioned a bit of the backstory there about playing golf with the owners and everything, but tell us the story on how you ended up with the Flyers this season.
I mean, I went out to I got a call from the Spitfires in about June. They told me that you aren't gonna be here next year. We're gonna go our separate ways. And I was upset, but I mean, there's nothing you can really do at that point. So after that, I just had talks in the summer of what I was gonna do, if I was gonna go to the Q or if I was gonna stay in Ontario. So I talked with Justin Schultz, the GM of the Leamington Flyers, and Craig Mahan, who's the owner, plays golf with my dad all the time. We're members at the same course here in Tecumseh. So I see him around all the time, and that's just kind of how it ended up. I wasn't really going to go behind their back and go anywhere else because I knew I would have to deal with that for the rest of my life. So I rather just join them and help them win.
Did you know much about the Flyers growing up? Like, did you follow them at all? Did you know about their history? Obviously, they won the Sutherland Cup a couple of years ago. What did you know about the Flyers aside from the fact that you knew the ownership?
I knew when people went to Leamington, they had fun playing. I grew up with all the kids I grew up playing AA with, AAA with, the kids I went to high school with. They played in Leamington while I was playing in the OHL. And there was days where I was in the OHL where it wasn't that fun. And these guys are having a blast every day. So I'd see it in our group chats, and when they're on the bus, they're having a blast. So I was like, how are these guys having so much more fun than me? And now you see when you're here with Dale Mitchell and Kyle Quick and Kyle Mackrick and Matty Anthony, everybody's there every day. They're laughing, they're joking. It's a fun environment to be in, and they want to win.
Safe to say then that you're enjoying your time so far in Leamington.
Yeah, it's a blast. I mean, there's arguably the best rink in the OJ. It's the facilities are great there, and the fans are good, and we get close to 1,000 a night, so it's awesome there.
How have you found the level playing in the OJHL so far?
I mean, it's good. I think the biggest difference is that you're allowed to carry 8 overagers here. So it's just as big. I think in the OHL, obviously there's more skill just based on guys getting drafted higher. Guys are NHL draft picks. Guys come from all over the world to play. So there's that. And then there's this league's older. The OJHL is older than the OHL. If you just go off an average, there's older guys, there's bigger guys, and if you wanted to play against the biggest guys then in Ontario, then the OJHL is where it's at.
Right. And you guys have been outstanding so far this year. The latest rankings we just talked about, ranked top 5 in Canada for much of the season. Talk about this Flyers team that you're on and what has made you guys so good.
I think just the fact that people don't notice. There's times we get in the game and other guys on the other team will say something to me, but people don't notice how deep our team actually is. With guys like Braden DeGlacis, who's close to getting, I can't imagine he doesn't have an offer from anywhere by now. You got Gavin Grunder, you got Marcus Vandenberg, you got Michael Denny. Our team's just deep. We have guys that can score from everywhere. We have guys that can get points, and then you look at our D. They're all big, they're all mean, and they're not scared of anything. So our team is all tight. Everybody's best friends, and everybody loves being around each other every day.
Well, let's talk about beyond this season. You became the first player in the OJHL to play Major Junior and then commit to an NCAA school. You've got a scholarship to Clarkson University for next season. Tell us about signing with Clarkson and why you chose to go to that school.
I mean, I think just based on I grew up around Logan Mayu, who's been he's lived 5 doors down from me my entire life. He had the coach in Clarkson. He coached Logan in Laval last year. So he was just kind of told me what they were all about. And then obviously playing in Ottawa when my dad was coaching there, there's a bunch of people that all praise Clarkson because it's the closest D1 school pretty much. Well, you got Syracuse too, but a lot of people are all Clarkson because you can drive down there in a day and go watch a game. But it's a small town, but it's something that is more me. I'm not a huge big city person. Like I've never really liked any of that anyways. So I don't mind my small town, just like here in Windsor. So, and then obviously the hockey program, they've proven to be good every year, and they care about their players. They care about how their players are doing mentally. They care about how they are physically, and most importantly, they care about you as a person.
And Clarkson, I don't know if you know this, has been a huge pipeline for OJHL players over the past few seasons. They've got a lot of OJ guys that have gone down there and done really well. So
yeah, I mean, that's what I kind of talked to them about. They said they've had good success with Ontario players. So that's kind of what I'm hoping to go there and give them more success.
What was the process like for you though? Because first, let's talk about these new NCAA regulations, which even up to this season did not exist. Now you can play Major Junior and you can go south of the border and then play NCAA Division I. You signed, it was right after. I think those new rules were implemented within a month anyway. Wasn't it that you ended up signing? So was this something that had been in the works for a little while, or was it just something where they approached you right after the rule change was made?
No, honestly, I didn't talk to a single, before the rule was a thing, all the schools, I think, kind of backed off because they didn't want to waste their time if it didn't go through. So I didn't talk to a single school. And then Clarkson I talked to them probably about 2 weeks after. And then we had a Zoom call, and then I decided that's where I wanted to go.
Yeah. Obviously you've got a lot of buddies who play Major Junior, being a former Spitfire and a former Knight. How exciting is it for guys now to be able to have this option and be able to sort of have your cake and eat it too, of being able to play NCAA after playing Major Junior?
I think just the coolest part is for guys like Landon Sim on the London Knights. He's drafted to the NHL, hasn't been signed yet. So now he's got 2 paths to go. If he doesn't get signed to a pro deal, he can now go to the NCAA and get his school done and then try and play pro after that. Or guys like Noah Morneau, who are just like me, who just committed to school, haven't been drafted anywhere, and just going to get a scholarship somewhere, and you're going to get to play hockey for 4 more years. Dad
must have been pretty happy, huh? When you
he told me at the start of the year, before the season started, he said, I don't care where you play. You better figure it out because I'm not paying for wherever you want to go to school.
That's hilarious. Right on. What's it like as we finish up here, having a dad who's been a head coach in the NHL, who's played pro, and now, first of all, assistant coach with the Kings. How often do you get to see him during the season? Then, since he's down there living in LA while the season's going on.
Not a lot, to be honest. I didn't see him. He left August 10th, and then I didn't see him till yesterday. Actually, his team played against Detroit, so I went to go see him. Actually, I got to go see him for Christmas. I flew down there for the Christmas break. But other than that, I haven't really, there's never been much where you really get to see him. It's just kind of like August 10th comes around and it's, hey, Dad, see ya. I'll see you at the end of the year. That's that. Because I got 2 little brothers too. So my stepmom usually takes them for vacation on the All-Star break and he gets dragged into it. So I won't see him. I won't see him till the end of my season.
Do you chat about your games at all? Does he manage to catch a lot of your games online on Flow Hockey?
Yeah, he does. He actually gets to catch most of them. Usually, even if he's at work, he'll just leave it on the computer and he'll walk by it and have a look. But people think it's all sunshine and rainbows, but there's some text in my phone over there that aren't great. He's analyzing what you're doing and he's letting you know if you're not if you're doing something improperly. I wish the word was analyzing, but it's more like it's ugly. If I'm bad, the texts are really bad. But in other words, if you were to read the text out loud, would we need sort of the bleep button going here for a broadcast? Yeah, like every 4 words probably. So he's a true NHL coach, isn't he? Yeah. So there's no free passes with him, but you get it, and once you understand it, he's just trying to help me out. So, he's doing it for my best, and he just wants the best out of me. Yeah.
Listen, man, really appreciate you taking the time, and it's been a lot of fun watching you, obviously, in the Flyers play this season. But you've really been lighting it up, and it was great to report on you being the first OJHL player in history to do the major junior route, and then be able to sign with an NCAA school. So really looking forward to seeing what you guys can do in the playoffs, and watch you next year at Clarkson University. Thanks for taking the time today.
Yeah, thank you so much. I appreciate it, and thank you for your time, and thank you for having me on here.
And that is going to wrap things up for today. But a huge thank you, of course, to Colton for taking the time to join me today. He is just having a phenomenal season. Can't wait to see what he does in the playoffs and beyond the season, of course, as he joins up with the Clarkson Golden Knights in the NCAA next year. Just a reminder that to stay up to date with everything that's going on with the league all through the regular season, and of course into the rapidly approaching playoffs, be sure to check out the league's official social media outlets. Thank you so much for watching today. See you next week.